Hey guys, CJ here with an all-new review of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, S.H.I.E.L.D's been riding high lately, with a consistently excellent storyline, and the show continued to stay hot this week with an episode that not only provided some good character interaction and development, but also set up for some confusion and later resolution down the road. So this week actually saw Fitz get into the action as he, Coulson, Deathlock, and Hunter continued their adventures. Coulson was of course forced to work with Ward and Agent 33 as you saw in the promo, offering him essentially carte blanche in exchange for his assistance infiltrating Hydra. For those of you that are Americans, carte blanche is officially it's clean slate essentially. He's offering him to be free and clear, as he said, but they're going to Tahiti him, and he's going to be without his memories to start a new life. Now, enter Sunil Bakshi, newly brainwashed for compliance by Grant and 33, and cue a few Baron Strucker references, and we meet the villainous Dr. List. List seems like quite the character, with experiments on powered people, all trying to track down Gordon and therefore Afterlife, and they don't really say what he would want to do with Afterlife, but it's hinted that it's very sinister. Now, Skye's storyline has recently been a breath of fresh air, with new Inhumans bringing that whole side of Marvel to life, and more recently a good dose of family drama, and this week was no differently, as Jia Yang's kind of sinister plans for Cal was revealed, or not sinister I should say, cruel, cold maybe. He would soon be forced to leave Afterlife, dropped off in his hometown. Now, this didn't quite sit well with Skye, as she's beginning to feel a little bit sympathetic for her long-lost father. So, cue a father-daughter road trip to Milwaukee. Now, Kyle MacLachlan, he's really shined for this role, and this episode is no lapse for him. He's continuing really bringing this character to life with an incredible amount of zeal. He's relishing in it all. And lest any of you forget, he's actually a top-flight actor. Kyle really pulls on your heartstrings this episode. He's a little bit like a lost puppy, but kind of like a lost monster puppy. I would say like he's this lost, big, great mastiff dog with fangs and the dripping, rabies, but he really is. I mean, he plays this very well. I know a lot of people that I've talked to really aren't pleased with the direction that his character is taking, but you've got to respect the acting chops this guy has, and he puts it on display every scene that he gets. He stole every scene he was in. And this storyline was my favorite. Now, ultimately, our two big storylines come to a head in a four-way showdown in Cal's old doctor's office. Coulson, Ward, and his crew versus Hydra versus Cal versus Lincoln, whom we finally get to see can kind of be like a human taser. It's not quite the Cole McGrath level powers that we were hoping for, but it is still pretty cool to see him especially go head-to-head with Deathlock in one scene. This showdown is only made more interesting by a classic Bakshi double-cross. Oh, that Bakshi that took Mike and Lincoln hostage at the end of the episode, while Skye, Cal, and Gordon made it out okay. Things are further complicated as Coulson decided that outnumbered, outgunned, and outfunded, his best chance actually lies with Gonzalez, and so he therefore turns himself in. Now, the line of the week has to go to Skye for her brilliant and literal name drop upon learning that Cal's real name was Calvin Johnson. Detroit Lions represent. She says to herself, Daisy Johnson. Huh, absolutely brilliant. It's not exactly the most subtle, but it's a great way to acknowledge her existence and her character from the comics. So probably the biggest pro with this episode is that it introduced some further drama through what can only be called confusion. Now, May and Simmons hacking into Deathlock, see Coulson working with Ward. This, of course, furthers May's doubts and kind of starts planting some doubts in Simmons' mind. And Skye, of course, seeing the same thing, kind of freaks out before Gordon takes her. So it just furthers the shades of gray, kind of confused aspect that a spy show really would have, and a World of Spies definitely has, and it's something that I'm really excited to see the show explore. Really, my only negative in this episode is that S.H.I.E.L.D. has kind of swung to the polar opposite of this pacing issue that plagued them last season. They're overcorrecting. Where last season was too slow and plodding, this season is just thrown that out the window, got the let out, put the foot on the pedal, and just gone. And that's mostly a good thing, but this episode highlights again one of the several issues that I've noticed this season, and there's rushed character developments and story arcs. And I get that Skye would be feeling a little more sympathetic for her father, but the degree to which she empathizes a man that was just trying to kidnap her after one family dinner, it's a little convenient. And it's a little contrived, I guess. It's overall it's just strange. I digress, however, as their scenes were the best in the episode. Maybe this deserves a pass. So that about wraps it up from me here. If I had to give a score to this episode, I would say I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. It isn't quite as perfect as the last couple episodes were, but still a very good episode. Highly recommend you check it out if you haven't watched it already. So that about wraps it up for me here. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, hey. I hope you guys enjoyed what you just saw. I don't know what exactly you just saw, but I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you really did like it, go check out our other stuff. You know, we have social media, Facebook, Twitter. The link should be somewhere here. Also, we have other channels too. We have our movie video game channel. We have our music channel. Obviously our comic book channel too, because we do all that entertainment awesomeness. We also have a website. Go to our website, hybridnetworkyt.com, and check out our other videos. That's all I really have to say. It's Josh, and I hope you guys enjoyed what you watched.